Hey guys, it's Neil again from Heart of Texas Armory, and today I want to bring you guys a quick video talking about some new products that will be available soon from Holosun. Now keep in mind that these pictures that we're going to be talking about of these upcoming products are just teasers at this point, so there is a chance with some of these products that they may still be in prototype, meaning that the final design may be a little bit different from what we see here today. But I do want to talk about these products because some of these products are pretty impressive to me, and hopefully next week at SHOT Show we're going to get some more information on them. So us here at Heart of Texas Armory, of course, will be following all the new products and info that comes out of this year's SHOT Show. So definitely check back on our YouTube channel soon, because I'm sure there's going to be other products released at SHOT Show that we're going to want to talk about. So these new products were dropped a few days ago on the Holosun Instagram page, and right now we're here at Heart of Texas Armory's Instagram page, so definitely follow our Instagram as well as Holosun. And here we are switched over to Holosun's Instagram page, and you're taking a look here at the first new product, which is the RML, or the rail mounted laser. So as you can probably tell, this is a compact laser system here that's primarily designed to be installed on handguns, but of course you're able to also install this laser on rifles as well. And as you can tell from this picture here, this laser unit is pretty compact and small, which is a good thing. You know, now in 2022, there's no real reason to have an oversized laser installed on any handgun, or really a rifle for that matter as well. So it is cool to see this laser being so compact. And we'll look at another picture here in a little bit where you can see the size of it better. But even from this picture here, you can tell that it is very small. So at the rear of the unit, you can obviously tell that there are some buttons here to turn on and off the laser. And it looks like to me that these buttons are going to be ambidextrous, which is also a positive. I also like, if you look here in the text here that Holosun wrote, that the waterproof rating is IPX8. That's excellent. A lot of other alternative lasers on the market are obviously not going to have that true IPX8 waterproof rating, and to me that's very impressive and important as well. A couple other things with this picture. I like seeing the oversized Torx screw here, which means you're going to be able to easily install this on pretty much any rail from a handgun or to a rifle, and you're able to put the proper torque you need to without fear of stripping that Torx head out. A couple of other quick things we'll talk about on this picture real quick, and also in the text here. Looks like the windage and elevation adjustments will have tactile adjustments, which is always better than non-tactile, so I like seeing that. And it does look like this laser is going to be offered in two different models. So there's going to be a primarily polymer construction version, as well as an upgraded titanium version. And you can see that here with the RMLT. And finally, they are going to offer both a red and also an upgraded green laser for this rail-mounted laser. And in case you weren't aware, in the world of visible lasers, the advantage of a green laser is that it's going to be more visible in bright conditions. So if for whatever reason you needed to use a laser during bright daylight, the green is going to have a definite advantage and be much more visible. Just keep in mind that typically green lasers do cost a bit more to manufacture, so the cost of the unit will be probably a bit higher, and also they typically burn through batteries faster, so just keep that in mind. Switching over here to the second picture, you can see that the RML is going to come with quite a few different spacers, which these spacers are going to allow you to install this laser on just a variety of different rail systems. So out of the box, you're going to be able to install this on most handguns, and of course most rifles as well. And before we get over to the next picture here, we'll also point out the included tool that comes with the laser. So this little tool is going to let you adjust pretty much everything on the laser. So your windage and elevation adjustments will be easily adjusted with this tool. And it also looks like this section right here with all these teeth are going to allow you to unscrew the battery compartment, which is located right here on the bottom of the unit. And switching over to the last picture here of the RML, you can see the bottom of the unit here better and more clear. So there's the battery compartment that we were talking about just a second ago, and you can see how that tool will interface with the battery compartment cap there. So now that we talked about the new product here, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, which is if this is a good release from Holosun. So far, all the feedback I've seen pretty much for this release has been overwhelmingly negative, and I would tend to agree with most of you guys as well. And I would probably call this a somewhat underwhelming release from Holosun. Now, I think it probably will sell for them, but for most guys now in 2022, we really don't have a true need for a visible laser on a handgun. Particularly if you do have an optic system installed on your handgun, it really makes visible lasers like this obsolete in my opinion. So I would have really preferred Holosun to come out with either a laser just like this, but be an actual IR laser where you can use that with night vision. Or in my opinion, they probably should have come out with a light and laser combo, or even just a light by itself. I think if they would have done that, the response on this release would have been a lot better. So hopefully Holosun does listen to their customers here, and at least maybe they'll give us a IR version of this laser. We may not see a light laser combo, but with all the feedback that Holosun is probably getting here on this product, we can cross our fingers and hope for a IR version. Okay, with the laser out of the way, let's swap over to the new release that I'm most excited for. And that's because it's a new micro optic for a handgun. So Holosun is calling this item the EPS, or enclosed pistol sight. And right off the bat here, guys, I think this particular product is going to be an absolute home run. For me personally, I'm really excited about this upcoming optic because if you look here at the text, you'll see that this is a really small, micro, fully enclosed optic that's going to fit on most single stack handguns. And this optic is going to share the same K footprint as their current optics on the market, so the 407K and 507K. So the K series is designed for small, concealed carry, single stack handguns. So some of the more popular ones on the market are going to be the SIG P365, the Springfield Hellcat, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, or the Taurus GX4. So you can think of these EPS optics as an upgraded, fully enclosed version of the already established and well-received 407K or 507K. So you are going to get all the awesome features that those optics have with a few upgrades. So you're going to get the Holosun shake awake technology, the side mounted battery tray here. You can see that on the side of the unit, which is fantastic. You're not going to have to remove this optic to swap batteries. You're also going to get the awesome battery life that most Holosun optics get. But these EPS optics do get some nice upgrades. We've already mentioned the fully enclosed emitter. That's a nice bonus. You also get the solar cell technology. You can see that panel right here on the top of the unit. And you also get an upgraded waterproof rating, just like the laser we talked about before. These EPS optics all are IPX8 waterproof rated. And this optic will perform better in really poor or adverse weather conditions. And real quickly, before we swap over to the next picture, I do want to mention the reticle here. So at least initially, it looks like they're going to offer these with a 6 MOA dot reticle. So most likely they'll be available in red or green, but it's not going to be the circle dot. It's going to be the larger 6 MOA dot, which does make sense on a small compact handgun where you're really going to use it up close anyway. And here on the next picture, you can see the actual optic installed on a handgun. So the EPS looks really nice here installed on this Shield Plus 9mm. So overall with this product, I'm extremely pumped about it. I think it's an awesome release. So right now, fully enclosed optics are all the rage. Everybody wants one, so I think it was extremely smart by Holosun to release a really small, compact K-series footprint optic that's fully enclosed. Definitely pumped for this one. Hoping to hear some more info on this at SHOT Show. For instance, let's get some pricing info as well as an actual release date for these. But like I mentioned earlier, to me, this release is a guaranteed home run. And finally, let's talk about the last new release that Holosun dropped on us here recently, and that is the SCS, or Solar Charging Sight. So this is something I heard about from Holosun maybe 2 or 3 years back, but instead of using a replaceable battery like a 1632, it actually has an internal battery that is rechargeable, which is recharged by ambient light. And with that, they went ahead and dropped off the manual controls for intensity and went strictly with a auto adjusting sensor. So what that sensor does is going to read the ambient light and then adjust the intensity automatically to have the optimal brightness in pretty much any lighting condition. So that makes this optic incredibly simple to use. Basically, you just install it on your handgun, and then this side here will be smart enough to adjust the intensity without any user interaction. And of course, that does make it a bit easier to manufacture as well for Holosun, because they don't have to worry about additional circuit boards or any type of buttons on this optic. And with that said, it also will minimize the points where potential water or dust could get into the actual optic. Reading through this text here, how this optic is going to operate is pretty simple. So when there's enough ambient light around to power the reticle, the optic will pull power directly from the solar panel. At the same time, if there's any additional power being pulled in from that solar cell, it will route that to the battery and start recharging that battery. And then if you go to an area where there's low light and you're not able to pull power from that solar cell, the unit is smart enough to swap over on the fly to that internal battery power source. So that is a pretty slick setup there, and we'll see if it's actually going to be a big success for Holosun. But I really like that they always are pushing the envelope and pushing technology as well. I don't think these type of optics are going to replace our standard battery powered optics anytime soon, but the technology used in this is pretty cool. And looking at this picture, you can see this optic installed on a Glock 19 MOS, and that definitely makes for a pretty nice setup. And real quickly, before we switch over to the next picture, I would like to point out right there the laser we talked about earlier, so you can kind of see the size of that laser installed on a Glock 19, so very compact. Swapping over to the next picture, we get to look through the optic here and see the reticle. So there's the famous Holosun circle dot, and in this case it is a green version. I'm assuming they would probably release this optic in both red and green, but at least we know for sure the green will be available. In the last picture here, you can see a close-up of the optic, and the interesting thing to me is this area right here, which I'm assuming houses the internal battery. So overall, this is a pretty impressive release as well. Really love this technology. Really love that Holosun is always pushing the envelope here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video looking at some of these upcoming releases from Holosun. Some pretty impressive stuff overall. And hopefully you guys are also really looking forward to SHOT Show coming up here this next week. And I'm sure we're going to get more info and more releases from Holosun, as well as many other manufacturers as well. So stay tuned here to our YouTube channel at Heart of Texas Armory, and we'll do our best to keep you guys posted. And finally, if you guys have any comments on these products, I would love to hear your thoughts down below, so definitely do that. And guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.